kids. If he was on top of me, I'd be like, okay, Joseph. All right, wait a minute, Joseph, open your eyes. Look at me. Pull out. Joseph, stop it. Pull out. Well, hello there, love bugs. Hello there, Bellas. If you have not already done so, please like, share to whatever handle you are connected to, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok. I don't know if you could put it on the TikTok. Subscribe and visit uptopbeauty.com for these Superfly shades in beige. And you know we have a book club tote, because we've been reading with Uptown NayRob. And if you are not already a part of this book club, please hit the Patreon link below and or the join button here on the YouTube. And for a small monthly fee of $5, you babies, yes, you can be privy to all the shenanigans before the YouTube gets it, if the YouTube gets it. Now, ooh. We are back with J. Randy Terribolele. Okay, we're doing a Michael Jackson book. What's it called? The Magic, the Madness, the Whole Story. 1958 to 2009. And listen, all yous that like to come around here and be like, Nay, that's not how you pronounce it. Listen, if Terribolele can come to this channel and say, Nay, I don't mind how you pronounce my name. I'm just enjoying the read. Then who gives a about what you think? We call him over here Terribolele, and that's what he's going to be. Love you, Terribolele. Joseph Walter Jackson was born on July 26, 1929. Leo. And baby, if you ain't equipped, you ain't going to make it. Joseph Walter Jackson was born on July 26, 1929 to Samuel and Crystal in Fountain Hill, Arkansas. That you know what? I think that's where the Pointer Sisters originated. He is the eldest of 5 children. A sister, Verna, died when she was 7. Samuel, a high school teacher, was a strict, unyielding man who raised his children with an iron fist. They were not allowed to socialize with friends outside the home. So now we see where Joseph gets that crazy shit from. When my mama moved me around there to Morton Street, she thought that she could keep me in the house. No, you can't keep me in the house. She would always be like, Nay, you ain't like these kids. You got a home. Ain't nobody here on welfare. But then when I think about it, I'm like, Mama, when we lived in some quarters, we lived in low-income housing with Grandma. So what is the problem? Samuel Jackson loved his family, but he was distant and hard to reach. Remembered a relative. He rarely showed his family any affection, so he was misunderstood. People thought he had no feelings, but he did. He was sensitive, but didn't know what to do with his sensitivities. Joseph would take after his father in so many ways. Samuel and Crystal divorced when Joseph was a teenager. Sam moved to Oakland. Damn, just like the Pointer Sisters. Samuel and Crystal divorced when Joseph was a teenager. Sam moved to Oakland, taking Joseph with him, while Crystal took Joseph's brother and sisters to East Chicago. When Samuel married a 3rd time, Joseph decided to join his mother and siblings in Indiana. Catherine was born on May 4th, 1930. Now that's a Taurus. And christened Katie B. Scrooge after an aunt on her father's side. She was called Kate or Katie as a child, and those closest to her today still call her that. Katie was born to Prince Albert Scrooge and Martha Upshaw in Barber County, a few miles from Russell County, Alabama, a rural farming area that had been home to her family for generations. Her parents had been married for a year. They would have another child, Hattie, in 1931. In 1934, Prince Scrooge moved his family to East Chicago, Indiana, in search of a steady job. He was employed in the steel mills before finding work as a Pullman porter with the Illinois Central Railroad. In less than a year, Prince and Martha divorced. Martha remained in East Chicago with her young daughters. Because of her polio, Catherine became a shy, introverted child who was often taunted by her schoolmates. She was always in and out of hospitals. Unable to graduate from high school, she would take equivalency courses as an adult and get her diploma in that way. Until she was 16, she wore a brace and used crutches. Today, she walks with a limp. Her positive childhood memories have always been about music. So, when you're a child that has been picked on for whatever reason it is, I can say this for myself, you look for a partner who is invincible, where their strength is so overwhelming that you feel safe. Now, typically us women, what we look for in our partners is safety. We want to feel like our partners will protect us. And when we find that person, we get a sense of undying loyalty to them. So at this point, I get it, why she chose Joseph. When she met Joseph, Catherine fell for him immediately because he's a Leo man. I mean, I get it. Though he had married someone else, it lasted only about a year. After his divorce, Catherine began dating Joseph, and the couple soon became engaged. She was under his spell, gripped by his charisma, seduced by his charm, his looks. Now, wait a minute now. I'm going to say that Lawrence Hilton Jacobs. Now, yes, I would be under his spell because I have always loved the boom boom Freddie Washington. But I don't know about that Joe Jackson. I don't know. I would say his charm would get a woman more so than his looks because, I mean, goddamn. I mean, even though Boom Boom and Joseph Jackson are similar, I don't know. You know, I don't find Joseph Jackson attractive in any way. She was under his spell, gripped by his charisma, seduced by his charm, his looks, his power. See what I mean? Power. Ooh, we get all bothered with the niggas with the power. He was a commanding man who took control, and she sensed she would always feel safe with him. She found herself enjoying his stories, laughing at his jokes. His eyes were large, set wide apart, and the color of hazel she had never before seen, almost emerald. Ooh. I mean, I don't know. I kind of think Joseph might have got the drawers with me too. The way that it's described right there, the power that illuminates from a Leo man just sits you down and make you want to act right, especially with us Libras. Now, she's a Taurus. I don't know how, I mean, you see how that worked out, you know. Us Libra, though, we'll fall in love with you and walk the fuck away eventually. Oh, you ain't gonna change, Ninja. I done had enough. Whenever she looked into them, as she would tell us, she knew she was being swept away. And it was what she wanted for herself. Or, as she put it, I fell crazy in love. Baby, I get it. They were opposites in many ways. She was soft. Joseph was hard. She was reasonable. Joseph was explosive. She was romantic. Joseph was pragmatic. However, the chemistry was there for them. Both were musical. He was a bluesman who played guitar. She was a country western fan who played clarinet and piano. Joseph, 20, and Catherine, 19, were married by a justice of the peace on November 5th, 1949, in Crown Point, Indiana, after a 6-month engagement. Yeah, that's kind of what the Leos do. I got to jump on top of this because she down for a nigga. Could do whatever. They see that. Catherine had said that she was so affected by her parents' divorce and the fact that she was raised in a broken home. She promised herself once she found a husband, she would stay married to him no matter what circumstances may come their way. It didn't seem that she had much to worry about with Joseph, though. He treated her respectfully and showed her every consideration. She enjoyed his company. He made her laugh like no one ever had in the past. Importantly, there was a tremendous sexual bonding between them. Have we read that before? Joseph was a passionate man. Catherine, less so a woman. However, they were in love. They were compatible, and they made it work. The newlyweds settled in Gary, Indiana. Their first child, Maureen, nicknamed Reby, was born on May 29th, 1950. The rest of the brood followed in quick succession. On Catherine's 21st birthday, she gave birth to Sigmund Esco, nicknamed Jackie. 2 years later, on October 15th, 1953, that would be my Tito. Terriano Adara, who was called Tito. Jermaine Lawan followed on December 11th, 1954. Latoya Yvonne on May 29th, 1956. Marlon David on March 12th, 1957. One of a set of premature twins, the other, Brandon, died within 24 hours of birth. Michael Joseph on August 29th, 1958. Stephen Randall on October 29th, 1961. And then Janet Demeter on May 16th, 1966. That's the Mother Hunchy clan. Catherine and Joseph shared a one bedroom with a double bed. The boy slept in the only other bedroom in a triple bunk bed. Tito and Jermaine sharing a bed on top. Marlon and Michael in the middle and Jackie alone on the bottom. The three girls slept on a convertible sofa in the living room. When Randy was born, he slept on a second couch. In the bitter cold months, the family would huddle together in the kitchen in front of the open stove. So you know how when you're in school, whether your mama have money to pay for the pictures or not, they still take the picture of you, okay? And then they send it home. Hey, look, this is the pictures of your children. You can still buy them. But according to this book, even though they posed for the pictures, the family could not afford to buy the pictures. Maybe because I was the only child. You know, I always had pictures every year. And I don't know why. Why, Mama? Why did you pay for these pictures, Mama? I look so fucked up in these pictures, Mama. What is happening with me? What is this, Mama? You know, but she always paid for them. When my sister came along, she didn't get pictures every year because now she has 2 children and she's a single mom. Something that I will never understand. Never. I'm like, you got all these kids. Stay up off of me. Okay? I know we make love real good, but stay off me. All right? Or pull out. You know, and people check me, Nay, they didn't have condoms. Back then, they had the rhythm method. Are you bleeding right now, Catherine? Okay, we got this week right here to get it in. Let's get it in. It's like, it baffles me how the people never pull out, motherfucker. Me, I'd be like, okay, Joseph. All right, wait a minute, Joseph, open your eyes. Look at me. Pull out. Joseph, stop it. Pull out. Jermaine contracted nephritis, a kidney disease, at the age of 4 and had to be hospitalized for 3 weeks. It hit Catherine and Joseph hard financially as well as emotionally. Whenever Joseph was laid off, he found work harvesting potatoes, and during these periods, the family would fill up on potatoes, boiled, fried, and baked. I was dissatisfied, Joseph Jackson remembered. Something inside of me told me there was more to life than this. What I really wanted more than anything was to find a way into the music business. Baby, you got it. He, his brother Luther, and 3 other men formed the Falcons, a rhythm and blues band that provided extra income for all of their families by performing in small clubs and bars. Joseph's 3 older sons, Jackie, Tito, and Jermaine, were fascinated with their father's music and would sit in on rehearsals at home. Michael has no recollection of the Falcons. It happened. In the end, the Falcons was not commercially successful. Okay, so I know that broke his heart. He wanted away into the music business because, Leos like to shine. And the best way to shine is on stage. We all know the story about how, although Joseph's group was not successful, he kept the guitar. And from time to time, he would pull the guitar out after work and play, okay? What it says in this book is that Catherine sometimes will pull the guitar down and play for the family. I didn't know that, okay? If I read it before, my bad for not telling you, or my bad for not remembering that Catherine would play the guitar sometimes, okay? Also, I didn't know that Catherine, or can't recall that Catherine played the piano and the clarinet. So we all know the story, just like Jackson's The American Dream movie. The kids pulled the guitar out and broke a string. Joseph started tripping. First thing he think is violence. So Catherine's like, I think you might need to settle down because your boys are good. Afterwards, when Joseph cooled off, he came into the room. I was still crying on the bed. Tito said, I can play that thing. I really can. He looked at me and said, okay, let me see what you can do, smart guy. So I played it, and Jermaine and Jackie sang a little. Joseph was amazed. He had no idea because this was the big secret we had been keeping from him because we were so scared of him. Joseph later said that when his sons revealed their talent to him, he felt a surge of excitement about it. I decided I would leave the music to my sons, he told me many years later. I had a dream for them, he said. I envisioned these kids making audiences happy by sharing their talent that they'd maybe inherited from me. Joseph went off to work the next day and that night returned home holding something behind his back. He called out to Tito and handed him a package. It was a red electric guitar. Now let's rehearse, boys. He gathered his 3 sons together, Jackie 9, Tito 7, and Jermaine 6, and they practiced. We'd never been so close, Tito would recall. It was as if we had finally found something in common. Marlon and Mike, they would sit in the corner and watch. Our mother would give us some tips. I noticed our mother and father were happy. We were all happy. We had found something special. You say that you love